Hi guys, happy new year and welcome back to What the Frick podcast. It is officially 2023 and I am determined to make this the best year ever. So as we all know, the holidays just happened and I spent my holidays back home with my family and my parents in Las Vegas, and I found this to be quite funny is that you would think you would get a ton of rest and, extra sleep while you're home for the holidays because you're not working. Really, all your responsibilities are just eating a bunch of food, watching holiday movies, and pretty much just playing games and relaxing with your family. But me, on the other hand, I actually came back exhausted because I, lucky me, have a very sweet little dog who thinks it is okay to come and knock on my door between the hours of 6 and 7 a.m. every single morning that I am home. He feels that it is his right to come and wake me up and give him love and attention. And he's been doing this for years. When I lived with my parents back during COVID for a while, I used to get so annoyed because every morning around 7 a.m. he would come knocking on my door and he won't stop. It's not like, oh, just give it a minute and he'll go away. Like, no, he'll sit there for 20, 30 minutes and he'll just keep knocking and scratching until you eventually open the door and let him in. He's got nothing better to do, so why would he not do that? And I used to get really mad and my dad would be like, why is this bothering you? Like, he just wants to give you love. And I was like, you're right. So during COVID, it was funny because I would let him in every morning at 7 a.m. and then I would give him pets and give him love and attention for 5 to 10 minutes. And then he would eventually get tired and he would just lay on the bed with me and he would take a nap while I finished getting in my proper amount of sleep. And it became a routine and it was actually really cute. But now whenever I go back to visit or whatever, he does the same thing. He'll come in every morning, and during Christmas time he would come in again, just knock on my door, and then it was very cute. Like, it's hard to get mad at him. But this time I would have to just leave my door open because every 30 minutes or so he would come knocking again back on the door, I guess because nobody else was up yet and he was bored. So I decided to just leave my door open a bit each morning so that he could come in and out when he wanted. Little dog, jumping on the bed every 30 minutes or so and eventually would get up. So I'm exhausted from dealing with that. A first world problem, to say the least. But now that I am back in action, back in my normal life, I'm actually trying to just catch up on sleep again and get back in my normal routine because you would think it's fun, but when you wake up every 30 minutes when you're trying to finish off your sleep, you get a bit tired throughout the day. So I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions this episode, and this is something I've never really believed in. I feel like it's kind of stupid, and if you want to change something about your life or the way you're living, then you should just do it. You shouldn't, wait for a special day to mark the new year in order to do it. And while I still believe in that, I am sort of changing my mind this year, and I actually have made a couple of New Year's resolutions for myself. I feel like the ones that I made particularly were just easier to start in the new year, being as one of mine was to cut out sugar from my diet. And if you know me, that's really hard because I have an obsession with crumble cookies. This is not a sponsor, but I love them. Feel free to sponsor me at Crumble. But anyways, yes, I'm trying to cut out sugar because I feel like I'm that kind of person that just loves to come home at night, turn on a TV show or a movie, and just like pour myself a little snack. And a lot of the snacks I like have sugar. So I've decided to try and cut out sugar as much as possible. There will obviously still be some days where I'm just going to say whatever. There's a lot of sugar and alcohol as well, and I'm not giving that up. So it's not going to be completely cut out, but for the most part, I'm trying to cut out the sugar that's in those snack type foods. And I feel like this is a good thing to start in the new year because I'm not going to not eat sugar during the holiday season where everyone's just kind of sitting at home eating all this great food. So that's a good one to start in the new year for me, at least. Another one I'm trying to focus on this year is taking more videos of myself. And this sounds very influencer Instagram like, but I really enjoy taking videos of myself doing fun things. And I do this thing every year where I make a recap, sort of like a here's my year in review video. And I was looking back at my videos this year and I realized I didn't have really as much as I wanted or needed to make this video, and I got really sad about it. A lot of my stuff was just selfies of me with my dogs and just things I've taken from me at work because I do photo and video full time in my real life job. There wasn't a whole lot of me, and I kind of realized this year that I was a lot more present in the moment, which is also a good thing. I wasn't as focused about taking pictures with people or videos. And while it was good because I was living in the moment, and that's what they say, like spend less time on your phone when you are around people, now that it's the end of the year, I feel sad because I don't have these videos to look back on. So it was kind of a win and a loss being able to both live in the moment, but now I don't have these videos. So I'm going to try to make it more of a priority next year that when I am doing something fun that I want to remember to take a video of me or me and my friend or whatever, and then sort of put my phone away and go back to living in the moment, as some would say. The next thing on my list is to get my real estate license. I haven't really been very vocal about this, but I started my real estate classes actually this past January, so a full year ago. And it's funny because the only reason I really wanted my license was because of watching Selling Sunset, which looking back sounds ridiculous, but I thought it looked so fun. And if you're good at it, you can make a pretty decent amount of money on the side. So I decided, why not? Like, I want to see if I can get this. So I signed up for real estate school and was doing it the entire year of 2022. It was really hard to get done having a full-time job, and I do a couple of other side jobs as well, plus trying to have a social life and, working out, staying healthy, traveling. So something that would take most people maybe like 2 to 3 months to finish, because you only need about 90 hours in Arizona to qualify to take the test once you finish the schooling. It took me a full year. And I'm not ashamed of that because I didn't want to stop living my life in order to get something done when I knew I was just kind of doing this on the side anyways. So anyways, I finished the school and I passed my real estate school exam in December. So now I just had to take the actual Arizona state exam, pass that, and I can apply for my license. So I took a break from studying because it was the holidays and I wanted to relax. So my goal in January is to study really hard for a week or two and then go and take that test and hopefully get my license. And it's a lot harder than people think. It's not what it looks like on Selling Sunset of just walking into these beautiful houses and saying, oh, this is a marble countertop and it's, 4,000 square feet. It's actually a lot of work and a lot of law and math involved, and that's something I was not aware of until I got into these classes. But I feel really proud of myself that I've just added something really beneficial, as random as it is, because my normal career is nowhere in the real estate spectrum. I just feel good that I was able to accomplish that, and that's one of my goals of 2023. I guess to piggyback off of that, another goal of mine, and this is probably pretty opposite to what most people have, but it's to actually focus less on work and more on myself and a personal life. I have a really hard time people that know me know this very well, but I have a really hard time saying no to professional gigs, jobs, because I am in the photo and video industry. There's a lot of freelancing things that come up, stuff like that, and just my full-time job as a whole is very demanding time-wise, so sometimes I struggle balancing that personal life with that work life. And I spent the majority of 2022 focused on more of the work side of things. So while I'm not here to say, I'm never going to work again, I am going to try to make my personal life and my social life and just things that I want for myself more of a priority this year. And for you, this could be the complete opposite. Maybe you focus too much on going out and doing things with your friends than you did trying to move up in your career or, do that side project you've been working on a really long time. So whatever it is for you, those are mine. I think when it comes to resolutions, people have a hard time actually finishing them and going through with them. There's the running joke that during the month of January, the gym is just a lot more packed because everyone's trying to get in and exercise because that was their New Year's resolution. And then, a month later, it's back to being how it usually is throughout the year. So if you have a time sensitive goal, and I feel like these are more related to, working out more, or I'm going to eat a certain way. Like for me, I said I want to cut out sugar. I feel like you have to develop a pattern. And so I'm really going to focus hard on not eating sugar for one whole month. And I know a lot of people do dry January where they don't drink alcohol. I'm doing like dry sugar. So I'm going to try really hard to not eat sugar for a month and see how I feel, see how my body looks. I'm mostly doing this because one, I want to see if I just have more energy throughout the day because I don't drink coffee or caffeine really. So I want to see if that impacts the way I feel. Overall, that's my goal. And I think if you can get to 1 month and make it there, great. You're starting to form that pattern, that habit. Now, try to get to 3 months. And I think if you can make your goal last all the way up to 3 months, at that point, you've pretty much cemented a pattern, a habit into yourself. And if you get to that point and you're feeling good about it, then there's no reason why you can't continue down this path the rest of the year or your life or whatever your goal may be. So I would say start with the month, make that, because people say like, I'm going to do this all year. That becomes very overwhelming. So say I'm going to do it for 1 month. And then once you hit that goal, make it 3 months and then kind of just go from there and decide, do I want to keep doing this or not? This is kind of a short episode overall. I wanted to just kind of update you guys. There's some fun stuff coming up. I have some guests coming up, some guests you've seen before come on that did really well that I thought were really funny that I wanted to bring back on for you guys. I have some cool stuff coming up just personally. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling in the beginning half of 2023 that I want to share with you guys. I'm going to keep it under wraps for now as to what my actual plans are, but I think that will add a really cool element to this podcast. And honestly, let me know what you guys want to hear. This podcast is still growing and I'm still thinking of ideas and what I want to talk about every single day. So if there's something you haven't heard me talk about that you really want me to talk about, let me know. DM me on Instagram or on TikTok at What the Frick Podcast, or even if you have constructive criticism and you were like, why did you even make this episode? It was so boring. Please let me know that as well, because while I want this to be successful, I'm also doing it for myself and for fun, but I also want you guys to get something out of it as well. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up this podcast here. Thank you all so much for listening. I am so excited to get back in the groove with this in the new year. Next week, we will have a guest on. That's very exciting. And again, just thank you for being here with me and keep following us. And again, I will see you guys next week.